Hello Libra, this is your extended reading. So let's continue on this travel through time and space. It's like you are going through this time machine, or it's like this tunnel that needs, I want to say, smoothing out. So it's more like like a slide, but one that is closed, because it's almost like the passing of you and this other, I want to say, or these two aspects of yourself, Libra. It's like you are revisiting some points of maybe past lives, maybe future lives, maybe other versions of you that are living parallel lives as you. But this reassurance that I was seeing so emphatically at the end of the first part is interesting, because I feel like now there is reassurance coming from the other side, right? It's almost like, because the first encounter was with the Knight of Swords, right? And it's almost like the identification, maybe with reason, maybe with something that was known or was read in a book, or was accessed through the logical perception, right? Maybe if we're talking about this being one of your aspects, not another person, it's like you are perceiving this first with your mind, right? Or you're having a very logical approach to what you're seeing, to what you are perceiving. And when you are receiving reassurance from this Queen of Cups with the Ten of Cups, it's almost like, don't relax, don't think too much about the identification through this mental level, right? It's like trust in it's almost like coming through as trust in the divine with the Ten of Cups, right? It's like there is this larger family, there is this it's almost like a cosmic family. It's how it's coming through, but it's almost like the reassurance that maybe both of you need it at the time, or all of you, right? All aspects of you need it at the time of this first encounter. But that's where it get really fascinating here in the extended, because I feel like it's almost like there is a continuation, right? It's like when you go into this portal and you are sucked into this time travel capsule or tunnel, because it has movement, right? It's like there is a lot of wrinkles or blips or parts that needs smoothing out. So look how interesting. We're beginning with the Four of Cups, right? So we left off the first part with the Ten of Cups. It's like this entire reassurance that like things would be okay in a sense. So with the Four of Cups, followed by the Page of Swords. So it's another encounter with the swords energy, but feels like an earlier version. So it's almost like for this part of you, it's almost like this. And I want to say, okay, so this is really interesting. Remember that when I was talking about in the beginning of the first part, that this character was coming through as a technician or a mechanic, or somebody that, works with parts and, repairs parts of a system, repairs parts of a motor, or, whatever it is that feels more mechanical, because they have the knowledge. It's almost like for them, they can use their intellectual abilities, their ability to, it's almost like this ability to assess in their mind from their studies, things that they have learned that are now useful tools. So yes, we're talking about, again, tools because of this card here, the Judgment card, that in the last reading, what was it for? Virgo, I think, or was it for Leo? I can't remember. But this card, no, I think it was for Virgo in the extended reading. So this card came through as an actual tool, right? A hammer, like something that you use, practically to, to press on something, or, whatever you use a hammer for. And because there is this, it's almost like there is this revisiting, I want to say. It's like the further along you go in this journey, Libra, with, you know, these two aspects of yourself, or with this companion of yours, you are revisiting first the mental side of things, or maybe we're talking about the lessons, right? Or the it's almost like the accumulated knowledge, like the mental baggage that you're storing within you. And so because all of those things were useful, right? It's like they worked when they were required, right? It's like they were the tools that you, well, or this one used whenever they had to fix something, right? Maybe mental beliefs, mental ideas. And so when things are all settled, when things are all in place, when everything is fixed, when everything is, and not fixed in a way that is stagnant, right? It's fixed in a way that is repaired. The portal opens up. But when the portal opens up, it's almost like by showing you different versions of this aspect of you, right? Earlier versions. Maybe we're talking about revisiting old beliefs when you were a teenager, when you were a child, when you were a grown-up. It's like all of these, you know, things that you have learned in those ages, right? It's how it's coming through right now. But it could be, you know, more cosmic than that, right? You know, maybe from other lifetimes, maybe from future timelines. Is specifically how I'm getting this, because it's almost like you're moving this way and not this way for me, and that symbolically is just saying that, you know, you're looking forward and not backwards. Anyways, so there is, it's almost like now going back maybe to the origin of the mental clogs. I always get the word wrong, but I hope that's the word, clog. It's like you are going back, you know, with a lot more compassion, but also a lot more reassurance that things will be okay, that you can, it's almost like that you can go back to the first tools, you can go back to the first lessons that were absorbed, that were accumulated in your brain, in your mental realm, that is now needed to be seen in a different way and needed to be used in a different way, I want to say, because this Four of Cups was coming through as a wrinkle, right? So it's almost like, you know, when we go into a slide, right? A closed slide, you know, my memories from my childhood, there was this huge slide in the playground that I used to go. And I remember that, you know, the junctions between the parts, right? Because it curved and it's like, you know, a huge thing. It was a journey, right? From top to bottom, it was a journey. So, and I remember that the tricky parts were the wrinkles, or were the junctions, right? Because they would, you know, that's also the thing about this switch between the depletion to beauty, right? It's like the parts that used to be, you know, that used to be potentially harmful, or the lessons that could be potentially interpreted in a painful way, right? Or leave a mark that is, you know, not being properly used. Or it's like, it's almost like there is something that was, that, it's like it's not straight, it's not smooth. So it's like there is purpose in revisiting, Libra, this origin of maybe a mental clog, a mental blockage, or a mental wrinkle that you are now being given. It's almost like the same tool, but now you can repair, right? Because you know exactly what needs repairing and you know how to repair, right? So that is exactly what you're doing, I want to say, with the Six of Pentacles coming next. The smoothing part, right? This is talking about now things are flowing. It's like now there is no more wrinkle. There is no more bump. It's just like this very smooth, continuous slide, right? In this time capsule, time tunnel. So this is beautiful because it's like there is something that needed repairing, but not in this current time, I want to say, right? It's like maybe repairing something that you are about to live or you had lived. So it's like this time capsule thing, this portal, right? It's like, although maybe you didn't know this in the beginning, right? That this would be the outcome. It's like, this is the reason why you were nurturing, or you and your partner were nurturing the same vision, the same shared goal to smooth out. And also this Six of Pentacles talks about like sharing a common vision, right? Having what it takes to complement the other and vice versa, right? And that's what I'm saying. It's like it needs to be like this work for two in a sense, right? Maybe one is doing the work of, properly hammering to smooth out the blip, to take off the curve, or, to just repair the damage in a way. But the other one is there to reassure, especially because I want to say, after, it's like for this part, right, for the mental part of you, Libra, or for the person who is more mentally active, or the one that seems to be more practical, if this is you or the other, it seems like it's like work done, right? Mission accomplished. Now this is smoothed out. Now we're going to the other side of the story, right? We're going to address the other aspect of yourself, or the more emotional person, right? The Queen of Cups that we saw. Because after the Six of Pentacles, and remember, this Six of Pentacles talks about reciprocity, right? This is what I was already seeing since the beginning. So it's like smoothing out, like the smoothing out part maybe was done by the person that, knew how to use this tool first. But it's like, it's not just the, like the handiwork that needs to be done. It's like the presence of the other there, with the emotional reassurance, is also necessary for this smoothing out to be complete. But when it is here, okay, so Moon and Knight of Cups, right? So when we saw that the first encounter, after both of you fall into this rabbit hole, or fall into this time capsules tunnel, seeing that your perspectives are being turned upside down, or you're it's almost like you're evolving from a more conventional point of view to a more cosmic point of view, perhaps, right? And finding beauty in it. This is also something that's been coming up a lot. So the first encounter is with the Knight of Swords, right? It's like the mental aspect of it. Perhaps it's almost like the breaking down of the mental beliefs, or like the mental assumptions, right? It's like there are things that it's almost like certain concepts that need to be addressed first, and then when the dark comes, right, like when the night falls with the Moon card, now we can address the emotional aspect. Now we can go to a more emotional timeline, maybe now in this time travel capsule, because we have dealt with repairing the mental tools, or the mental lessons, right, or the mental bumps on the road, right? It's like now we are ready to address together. Remember, together, it's something that it's like it's done by two people, right? So, and for different reasons, right? Maybe one of them have to do the actual work and the other has the support in a certain moment, in a certain situation, but then it reverses. And this is what is happening now, right? It's like when the dark night, well, maybe we are talking about the dark night of a soul, right? So instead of a more, if it's like, if the first part of this process was a more intellectual kind of of revisitation and repairing, right? Maybe we're talking about, you know, deconstructing certain beliefs and reconstructing, you know, rebuilding, smoothing out certain concepts, you know, from an earlier age perhaps, or from a future timeline. Now we are ready to address the dark night of the soul. And I feel like this dark night of the soul is a little bit more distressing, okay? Because it's not like logical. It doesn't follow like a certain order. It's more like, it's not like you can, you know, see how you repair it in a logical, easy kind of way, right? It's like it's not that simple, right? It's not like a mechanic can mend an engine, right? It's more, what is the word? It's like it's more foggy, right? It's like there is no clarity. It's more like you have to, yeah, you have to trust even when you are in the dark, right? You have to trust even when you are hurting, even when you are suffering, even when you are going through this, maybe we're talking about, you know, seeing something or revisiting something that was painful, but then needing to experience that again or to pass through that again. Because, you know, at every single time since the beginning, since this portal opened, right, since this egg broke and, you know, this sun was opened and this portal was sucking you in, Libra, I saw it as a slide, right? It's like this time capsule that is, it's like this tunnel, right? So, and it goes, it's like, it's not something that, it's almost like, because you smoothed out, right? There is no stopping, right? There is no decreasing the speed. And that is exactly what you needed to do. But where it leads, you know, is to confront this emotional version of you, or maybe an emotional experience that maybe you feel, maybe you still feel uncomfortable because of the Eight of Swords. But this is the interesting thing. You know, at the first encounter, we already saw swords and cups, right? Side by side. It's like the identification being, you know, represented by the knight, and then the support here, right? And so when this confrontation comes to the point that is now surrounding the emotional aspect of you, or some sensitive spot, right? It's like this Achilles heels, right? Is that the expression? It's like there is this soft spot that is, it's pretty heart aching, right? So, or it's like maybe mental, like it's almost like a mental breakdown. It's how it's coming through. It's not just heartache, it's more like a mental breakdown. Maybe we're talking about, you know, burnout or stress or anxiety or something like that. But the source of it, the roots of it, is coming from this Knight of Cups, right? So essentially the mental breakdown is just the natural unfolding of an emotional kind of experience. And that is part of now this process. Because, so if the support at the first part, you know, ended with this Ten of Cups, so, you know, these two traveling together, it's like, first this one will be addressed and this one will be confronted, right, by earlier versions or future versions of themselves, and this one is there to support them. But now that, you know, now things changed, that's the reason why I'm saying there's a lot of reciprocity, right? Because when one of you need support, the other one is there, and vice versa, right? With exactly what the other one needs, you see? So swords and cups, Swords and Cups we already saw, and now it's Cups and Swords. But with the Eight of Swords, meaning it's almost like with the Eight of Swords, it's like it's very obvious that this is not an easy situation, right? Maybe this is for you, maybe this is for this other person, right? A partner that is undergoing this journey with you, Libra. But I want to say they acknowledge the pain, they acknowledge the hurt, they acknowledge the bad memories, or the trauma, or the just the hardship that you still carry with you, right? And it's like the support is still there. It's almost like they're saying to you, again, reassuring to you, no matter how bad this gets, like, I'm still here with you. I am going to go through this with you, right? And so this is beautiful, because I feel like with the Moon card, it's almost like you don't know. It's almost like you know that they are there with you. You are not sure that they are going to be there, even if they know this horrible thing about you, right? Or something that for you, it's like this flaw or this soft spot that makes you weak, perhaps. It's like it is a very uncomfortable spot, right? But this is the reassurance that is coming, especially because, oh, this is so gorgeous. Oh, okay. Okay, so let's do this one by one. The bottom of the deck is the Ace of Cups with the Ace of Wands underneath, but also we have the Emperor. And this Emperor was straight away talking about the finish line at the end of this tunnel, right? It's almost like both of you are so close, but both of you are coming with your own aces, meaning this is incredible, because the way that I said it, it's almost like both of you are now carrying different repairings or different kind of what is the word? It's not victories or accomplishments, but it's like whatever both of you had to find through this journey together is like both of you find it because of the support that you received for the other, or by the other, I should say. It's like both of you had your own specific works, right? Both of you had to address specific things for yourselves. Or if this is you going through, these two aspects of yourself, it's like first you had to address the mental aspect, and then you had to address the emotional aspect. But both of these aspects, it's like both of you are reset in a sense, right? Reset with love and enthusiasm, I want to say, because of these two aces. And the finish line is right around the corner. So it's almost like mission accomplished for both of you, right? Because of the mutual support, right, that you had given to each other. So now let's see what the astrological runes have to add then as a final guidance for you, Libra. Oh no, really? Okay. So again, this rune, I feel like this rune came yesterday for, was it yesterday? I can't remember. For the last reading that I've done. Virgo. I keep forgetting Virgo's reading. So the Ascendant, it's really something, because I feel like this talks about individuality, different personalities, but also like acknowledgement of the differences and the unique characters in each of you, or maybe the unique qualities, the unique specificities of these two aspects of yourself, right? And how they make up who you are, right? Or how both of you, if this is, two people, if you weren't together, then you wouldn't see yourselves as an entire human being. It's almost like you are these mirrors, but it's like this strengthening of one's personality, right? This is what the ascendant is here to say to you, Libra. It's like undergoing this trip, this journey, this time travel capsule with this one, or with these two integrated aspects of yourself. Is like you are going to come the other side bringing something. It's like bringing the repair that you needed, but also like the refreshment to start anew, I want to say, right? But also find more integrity of self, right? So I hope this was insightful for you, Libra. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.